is there anything out there to support people in their 50s? The answer to that is very little. As far as I know, your main option is go to a career coach, which can be expensive. It's an unregulated industry. If you're lucky, maybe you work for an employer that does invest in your development, but anyone over the age of 50 is the least invested in demographic group across the board for any organization. So Tushar, you're absolutely right. That's the gap in the market that we're filling. So £30 a year, people, that's my pitch. And I have to say, we're doing a bloody good job, if I do say so myself. And actually, because we are pretty much the only supplier in the market in terms of that kind of career development support, I would say that is why we were invited to give evidence at the select committee. So you're asking me about Jeremy Hunt and what's happening. Well, I can tell you, I've spent most of last week going backwards and forwards, outlining the plans for what I think would work. I cannot tell you whether or not government will adopt them, but what I've advised them is for returnships. I don't even think they should call them returnships. They need to call them career changerships, because returnships is confusing. But for career changerships to work versus apprenticeships, they need to be very flexible. People have got needs around flexibility and caring and so on. They need to be reduced in length versus apprenticeships, so not as many hours dedicated each week to studying. Ideally, all of this stuff about encouraging people to have more pension money to spend and invest is not the right target at all. You don't need to encourage people who are already quite wealthy to carry on working. Actually, what you need to do is encourage companies to create the conditions that allow that to happen. So if every company was to have reduced national insurance contributions for everyone over the age of 50, that would encourage them commercially to start being a lot more strategic about the over 50s workforce. I'd love to see that happen. I'm not going to say it is going to happen. Guaranteed job at the end, opportunities to shadow so people can self-select. There isn't a lack of training opportunities out there. There is a real lack of people knowing what it is they want to do next. So again, our survey, more than 6,000 people over the age of 50, specifically over the age of 50, all want to work, all want to do something. They want to do something that gives them purpose. They've got no idea what they want to do. 30, 20 years in the job tells you what you no longer want to do. 250 FTSE companies have all got graduate schemes. I can think of one, Aldi, that actually have a career changer scheme. How ridiculous is that? So yeah, I'm going to say, when you say that, there's not an awful lot of opportunity out there for the younger Gen Zers or whatever, there is. You've got apprenticeships, you've got grad schemes, you've got everything. You've got school, nothing for the over 50s.